Hello everyone. Today, we will dive into the story of Job, a righteous man who faced immense challenges without ever losing his faith. Let's embark on this inspiring journey together. A long time ago, in the land of Uz, a region known for its beauty and prosperity, there lived a man named Job. He was known throughout the region for his integrity and righteousness. Job not only feared God, but also avoided any act of evil, serving as a moral example to all around him. His reputation as a just and God-fearing man was unquestionable, making him a respected and admired figure among the people of that time. Job was a man of great influence in the land of Uz. In addition to his reputation as a righteous and God-fearing man, he stood out for his generosity and wisdom. Job did not only accumulate material wealth, but was also known for his charitable works and support for those in need. His home was a place of hospitality and celebration, where he shared his prosperity with everyone around him. Job's kindness and compassion were as remarkable as his moral integrity, making him a respected and beloved figure among many. One day in heaven, there was a celestial gathering where the angels presented themselves before the Lord. Satan was also present at this meeting. The Lord addressed Satan and asked where he had come from. Satan replied that he had been roaming the earth, going back and forth across it. Then, the Lord asked Satan if he had noticed Job, his faithful and upright servant. The Lord highlighted Job's virtues, describing him as unparalleled on earth, God-fearing and shunning evil. Satan then insinuated that Job only served God because of the divine protection around him and the blessings he received. Challenged by Satan, the Lord allowed him to afflict Job, removing his protection over Job's possessions and family to test his faith. After the tragedies that befell Job, he found himself in a desolate state. His wealth had vanished, his family had been taken from him, and his body was covered in painful sores. Yet, amid the darkness of his situation, Job remained steadfast in his faith. He fell to the ground, tore his robes, and shaved his head in a sign of mourning and grief. Contemplating the magnitude of his losses, Job did not utter words of rebellion against God, but instead bowed in worship. With tears in his eyes and a heart broken by pain, Job acknowledged divine sovereignty and declared, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." In this moment of profound affliction, Job demonstrated unwavering faith and a reverent submission to God's will. After Job's friends sat in silence for 7 days and 7 nights, contemplating the intensity of the suffering that afflicted their friend, they finally broke the silence. Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, each in their own way, tried to find explanations for the tragedy that had befallen Job. Eliphaz, the oldest and most experienced of the group, suggested that Job's suffering might be the result of some unconfessed sin. He argued that God would only punish the wicked with such severity. Bildad, in turn, claimed that suffering was a consequence of divine justice, and encouraged Job to seek God's mercy. Zophar, the last to speak, insisted that all suffering was deserved and that Job should repent of his supposed sins. Faced with the accusations and advice of his friends, Job vehemently defended his integrity and refused to accept simplistic interpretations of his situation. Even amid heated debate and the doubts cast upon him, Job remained firm in his conviction of innocence and trust in God. Despite all the adversities Job faced, he kept his unwavering faith and trust in God. In solitude and despair, Job found strength in prayer and meditation. He withdrew into his inner silence, seeking answers to the questions that echoed in his mind. In the stillness of the night, Job cried out to God with sincerity and humility, pouring out all his anguish and uncertainties before him. Even without understanding the reason for his suffering, Job remained faithful, trusting that divine purposes transcend human comprehension. His journey of faith was not without doubts and questions, but in every moment of weakness, Job found strength in the comforting presence of the Almighty. Thus, Job teaches us to persevere even amid life's storms, to keep the flame of hope burning in troubled hearts, and to trust that, in the end, the light of truth and divine justice will shine upon all who remain steadfast in their faith. God, in his infinite wisdom and majesty, revealed to Job the mysteries of creation and the power that sustains the entire universe. He questioned Job about the grandeur of his work, from the foundations of the earth to the stars in the sky. God described in detail the magnitude of his creation, the perfect balance of the seasons, the order of the stars in the firmament, and the harmony present in every living being. Job was confronted with the immensity of divine knowledge and humbled by the greatness of the Creator. As he heard the Lord's words echoing like thunder on the horizon, Job found himself before God's magnificence, recognizing his absolute sovereignty over all existence. Faced with the vastness of divine knowledge revealed to him, Job bowed in reverence and acknowledgement of God's majesty. With tears in his eyes and a heart overflowing with gratitude, Job prostrated himself before the Creator, pleading for mercy and wisdom. He understood that human wisdom was limited in the face of God's infinite greatness, and that only through humility and submission could he find peace. In an act of total surrender, Job placed his life in the hands of the Lord, fully trusting in his justice and love. In this moment of deep spiritual connection, Job experienced the comforting presence of God in his heart, renewing his faith and strengthening his hope. Thus, Job learned the most precious lesson, that true wisdom lies in recognizing divine sovereignty and surrendering to the perfect plan of the Almighty. After Job prayed for his friends and demonstrated compassion and forgiveness, God looked upon him with mercy and restored his life in a miraculous way. All the losses Job had suffered were abundantly repaid. The Lord blessed Job with a new family, even more prosperous than before. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters, all healthy and full of life. Moreover, God multiplied his possessions, doubling everything he had lost. His material wealth grew exponentially, making him even more respected and influential in the land of Uz. Job's friends witnessed the transformation in his life and marveled at the divine goodness manifested in his story. Job's restoration was not only physical and material, but also spiritual and emotional. He learned valuable lessons about faith, humility, and trust in God throughout the entire ordeal. At the end of this period of tribulation, Job emerged as a living example of divine faithfulness and the reward reserved for the righteous who persevere amid adversity. May Job's story teach us to persevere in the face of adversity, to keep our faith unshaken even in the darkest moments, and to trust that, in the end, divine justice will prevail. Just as Job was rewarded for his faithfulness, may we find inspiration in his journey to face our own challenges with courage and hope. May each chapter of Job's life remind us of the importance of remaining steadfast in our faith, even when all seems lost. May the lessons of humility, patience, and trust in God that we learn from Job echo in our hearts and strengthen us on our spiritual journey. If you were moved by Job's story and want more inspiring content like this, leave a like, share your reflections in the comments, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next journeys through the Bible. Thank you for being a part of this journey with us. If this story touched your heart and you want to help spread more inspiring biblical messages, please consider joining our community of Jesus followers. Your support allows us to continue sharing faith-filled content with the world. May God bless you abundantly, and we'll see you in the next video.